Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship qualifiers. Unfortunately, a little bit of downtime there because that's how things go in this online tournament where we can only really join one series at a time because both of us need to be able to see things. So let's jump into actually game number 3 now between MaNa and Complain, as they are 1-1 in this series, and our third map is going to be on Overgrowth.
Yeah, MaNa lost the first map and then came back to win map number 2. And here we are on game number 3, an elimination match. MaNa so far has had a very good run in the qualifier. He's been able to beat Gumiho, I think it was, and then Terminator back-to-back, two really top-tier, high-level Koreans. And here he is against Complain.
In general, MaNa's been on fire as of late with his result in WCS. We mentioned it before, and now those two results as well. Admittedly, yes, they are playing from the Korean server, but they're still extremely strong opponents. So, but Complain's going toe-to-toe here with MaNa. I would still give MaNa the edge, the favorite, because he is playing so well as of late. But Complain has been rising up the ranks in the European scene.
Yeah, he has. He's definitely not there yet, but if he was able to beat MaNa, that's going to help him push that image much further on, because I think a lot of people watching this now don't really know too much about him. He's a player from Israel and is here now, and let's actually have a quick look at his run.
Okay.
He's beaten Tefl as the most famous player he's played so far today, and this is his second.
They've had quite different runs to this point then. Let's put it that way.
And MaNa's still the heavy favorite.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what MaNa's going to want to do here, as he's just put very slowly into gas. So there is a good opportunity here for him to go for an expansion pretty quick in this game. Complain's going to be moving out with his SCV. There's a Reaper on the way behind this. So pretty standard opener.
Yeah, this is still, if you're just tuning in now, still round of 16 game. Getting very close to the quarterfinals now, and then the semifinals even more important as we get closer and closer towards having our first top 2 players from the top side of the bracket, or the main part of the bracket. Then we'll play the third place playoff for the third slot available today. 3 slots available. All
of those best of 5s. So if you do get into the semis, even if you lose it, you still have another shot, which is nice. Yeah. It almost is a double elimination bracket at that point when you get into the semifinals there. Because we need 3 players and not an even number of players. Ooh, what is this Complain? You cute little guy. That's more interesting than I was expecting out of this start.
Yeah, so Factory just to the right-hand side here. It's going to be obviously highly aggressive, looking for huge amounts of damage. Widowmines can walk around and plant themselves in very annoying locations.
And this probe is gone, so that's a nice pickup. But the Mothership Core is moving into a direction to intercept. And that Reaper does escape and didn't reveal the location of that factory, so that's all right. Nexus is going to get planted here for MaNa.
And you know, the Widowmine, if not spotted, could go behind the natural mineral line here of MaNa, and transferring probes or anything could be a huge problem. Yeah,
that would actually be really cool if we saw the Reaper jump in again. Well, actually, the Zealot is going to reposition itself to deal with the Reaper. But if you pulled the Mothership Core out of location whilst the Widowmine was wiggling around, that would be very cool. It's ambitious, though, to have that all sync up in time.
There is a robotics facility on the way, so an observer can be made soon. Behind this, pretty regular play coming out from Complain. Obviously, his expansion's delayed by quite a bit. But if he's able to get quite a few probe kills, he'd find himself in a decent lead, but it all comes down to if that works or not.
Oh, look at that. How beautiful that was. And it's going to burrow itself right behind that mineral line. So, and it's likely that we see MaNa actually just... That was a good block there to deny the Reaper.
Yeah, so by the looks of it, MaNa will end up transferring maybe 4 or 5 probes. And if he sends them to one mineral field, they'll all die. If he spreads them before, it may not be as bad. But he is going to transfer about 5.
The way that was orchestrated was very cool there from Complain. Gotta say, really cool little move.
Here we go.
And they're actually transferred to that patch, so it's not going to get as much as he would like.
No, only 1 probe.
Sees that second Widowmine at the front. It moves to its death.
Yeah, too eager there. And there is an observer right now, so cool move. Didn't pay off though.
Yeah, difficult. So there's another Widowmine in production now, but it's not really get too much done at all with the observer here.
If this is a Twilight Council or Stargate build, awesome success, because that could have had a second shot, but unfortunately not.
Yep.
Oh, and even a third Widowmine committed to.
He's going to have to retreat out, poor little guy, but he's not that fast.
He's not going to be able to get a kill.
Oh, well. Oh, well. In theory, it was really cool, but sadly it didn't quite hit the mark. Even the probe tried to block. But it was always going to die anyway. So behind this, he's got 3 barracks down. He's adding on his starport as well with this. And that factory really wants to kind of get out of there.
The Oracle could do a lot of damage because it's going to go unscouted.
Where is it?
To the bottom right-hand side
There
now.
we go.
And you don't really expect an Oracle to be a super fast follow-up from having a robotics facility, so there shouldn't be any preemptive units in locations to stop this. This could do a lot of damage and push our dear friend Complain here even further behind in the economy.
Yeah, definitely. It's 39 workers to 34, and this is going to move forward as he actually moves all of his units down to the natural. A disaster of timing there for Complain, who will take a few losses already. Free fall, as does a 4th. And a 5th as well, so good control there by MaNa. He even gets a sneaky Marine on the way out.
Good stuff. Good lead.
Oh, and he abandoned the entirety of his natural. He brought way too many of the Marines home there. Gets himself half of a mule. Wow, good damage there by the Oracle. Good control.
And a follow-up, this is something that MaNa's been doing quite a lot recently, is building Immortals. And he can go pressure with double Immortals and deal actually quite a lot of damage.
Works out well for the defense as well. It's not even, you know, great against Marauders. It obviously is. It's also not too bad against Marines if you're having to like 2-shot them with the fact that combat shields isn't there to really help that out. Yeah. So it's okay.
If Complain loses a lot here, the counterattack's going to be pretty deadly. He's got to be very, very careful with these units and preserve them smartly. Yeah,
he only has 1 medevac to actually retreat out here, so that does cause some problems if he gets in a tight bind. Drops the scan, sees double immortal, decides, probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't even bother.
No. Well, he's going to try and poke forwards with 2 Marines. Nice little bait out there. Maybe he would have got a probe or 2. Not much more than that. But doesn't get much.
There's a probe and pylon on the right-hand side of the map, which is where this counterattack can spring from very easily. Or the attack in itself, depending on how MaNa wants to do this. He's adding on another gateway.
And the way Complain looks at this, he's a little bit supply block there. It's a little bit, it can be misleading, I feel, because seeing the Immortals there, he could have thought, well, he saw how many units I have, maybe he's just making these for the defense and then later transitioning on, but this is a lot of pressure if he doesn't realize it's prolonged Immortal production.
And Blink is on its way too.
Yeah.
Which means this kind of drop's going to be dealt with very easily in about 60 seconds or so.
That will be pushed away to start things off. Didn't really do too much at all. Lot of gateways.
Yeah, 7 total, I think now.
4 Immortals, a lot of sentries.
Yeah.
Forge is going to be added on.
Yeah, it's not like a 2-base all-in.
Yeah.
It's just building up very powerful on 2 bases before taking his 3rd.
Yeah, so it's a tough little army, that. Tough cookie. This little drop on the right-hand side. Not going to do too much. Tries to get the Oracle in a small skirmish, but not too much.
All right, so this is the time I think that MaNa could do a lot of damage here. He could move out, pressure the 3rd base, force field well, because he's got a lot of force fields while taking his own 3rd. He has some Stalkers left over to blink towards that medevac too, which he knows is there.
Drops the scan, sees all of those Stalkers
Blink
in position.
just finished as he left.
Yeah, and there's a small army down to the bottom right here that could... Nah, the Immortals and Sentries are way too well positioned there for that to ever happen.
Well, not if they move out of position though. Depends if they stay here.
That's true. Very true. 2 more medevacs. A lot of units actually streaming across. A lot of units streaming across here.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's going to have a jab. See what he finds. That's a lot. Blink as well, remember. Blink is huge. Medevacs are just trapped.
This bio army. Oh, he's actually going to blink forwards and cut off the retreat point out there. And these Immortals are doing a lot. You cannot be sticking around here from a long Complain.
Yeah. Nice pickup. MaNa's going to chase, obviously. Really
strong army. Really, really strong. I mean, no sign of any AoE, of course, but the backbone of the Immortals really make it very difficult. And there's nothing he can do. He's going to lose so much of this army on the retreat out. Oh, God, this is brutal.
Power of MaNa's army that he built up.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful army.
A brilliant little play. And he has so many sentries left over. He has any Guardian shields you want, any extra force fields. This is very difficult for the Complaint to even survive at this point.
He may die here. he may die here. It's looking very likely, isn't it?
Yeah, as long as he puts some good force fields down between the ramp and the command center, that is almost sure to fall.
Yeah.
No
upgrades apart from the ability blink, just a lot of units.
Oh dear me, even the Ghost. Yes, it got an EMP on a few of those units and did bring down the hardened shields of some of these Immortals, but absolutely nothing. Gets torn asunder, completely destroyed.
And that's going to be the end of Complain's tournament. And it is 2-1, sorry. MaNa, he moves through into the next round. Congratulations to MaNa. He continues his impressive run. Yeah. Very impressive now. Yeah, we wanted to jump into that last game there just to make sure that we didn't have as much downtime or even more downtime during that period. But we are going to go to a short break now, but the next game is sure to follow very, very quickly because we have that result out of the way. So join us after the break, guys, when we have more StarCraft action here from the Intel Extreme Masters Qualifier.